Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today something different, and something that I'm busy getting used to. It is the beautiful 2023 Yamaha Tenere 700. This is in the Tech Kamo, spelled with a K, so not a C. Quite interesting. So I picked the bike up yesterday. It's gonna be an interesting ride. So what I want to do today is just a quick initial impressions. I went out for a ride yesterday. The bike has got about 80 miles on, so it's not running or anything. I'm sort of running it in as per normal, yeah, it's sitting at 80 miles. So I just want to give you just a quick first impressions of what I found coming from a BMW GS, a Tiger 900 GT Pro. My previous bike was the Tiger 660, and now on this bike. So how this whole thing started is my one friend has been really keen to get this bike, and you know, when someone sort of plants that seed, I start doing like in-depth research for months and months and months on end, and if the deal is good, I changed the bike. So this was pretty much a straight swap for my 660 Tiger, because the Tiger was still in really good condition. I really, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like the Tiger, that's why I sold it. I just wanted to try this bike, but wrapping around this, I'm gonna do at least 5,000 miles. I want to really keep this bike and really get to learn the bike. I also want to do a bit of green laning on this bike, and actually use it for a bit of off-roading, because that's the one thing that was missed on my Tiger 660, is that that ability to just go on some green lanes. If you find an off-road area that you can just go and take some gravel roads and just enjoy it without, you know, damaging the bike. What I think about the bike, coming from the Tiger 900 GT Pro and then the Tiger 660, this bike rides totally different. It's a more bike, less technology. So it's sort of back to basics, but not too much basics. It's just like, you know, I had a BMW R90 Scrambler. Now that was a farm gate with wheels on. You know, sorry to say that, but that bike was the most uncomfortable bike I've ever had. Maybe it's because I'm too light or something. It was just beautiful sounding bike. It was just the worst bike to ride for me. Personally, it was just, everything was hard, everything was heavy, everything was, it just didn't turn well. Just wasn't a nice bike. This bike is very comfortable. I just spent an hour and 20 minutes on the motorway, doing 70 miles an hour to keep it under the 5,000 RPM. And the seating position is comfortable. The seat is not as comfortable. It's quite squishy. You know, a lot of people say the seat's hard, but it's actually not hard. It feels squishy compared to my Tiger seat, but the seat is not as comfortable as the Tiger. The Tiger I did last weekend, or a few weekends back, I did a 4-hour one stint, and I was okay. This, after about an hour and 20 minutes, you can start feeling, you know, my bum starting to hurt. So it's not as comfortable as the Tiger seats and the BMW seats. So I can vouch for that. The screen works well. I'm not a tall rider. I'm 5'11", about 75 kilograms, probably about just under 80 with all my kit on and whatever. So it's it works quite well. I found out that my front vent on my helmet is causing a lot of noise, but like a lot of noise. And if you, like on my Tiger 900 with a bigger screen, you don't feel it because it's quite protected. Where this bike and then the Tiger 660 cause this vent to make such a lot of noise. So if you close the vent, it's fine. But the riding position is really nice and comfortable. My legs are nicely bent, not too much like a sports bike, like I'm sitting now, and not too stretched. You know, the guys do drop down pedals to get so your knees bend even less. So when you stand up on off-road conditions, then it's easier to get up. Then, you know, if your knee is bent lower, it's more difficult to get up. If it's bent less, then it's easier to get up. Then also the gap between you sitting and the front screen and the new TFT screen, it's really nice and roomy. You know, I've got my cheap phone mount on there that really is nice and clear. There's a lot of space there, even with the handlebars turn or whatever. It's just a good amount of space in front of you. And also the TFT screen is nice and clear and it works quite well. I've sort of fiddled around with some of the settings. There's 2 different modes, but I'll go into full details about this bike on another video. I just want to give you just quickly first impressions, whatever. So yeah, nice spacious area between the rider and the screen and so forth. Also, the screen gives me enough protection. Sitting on the motorway, covering miles to 70 miles an hour, there's no buffeting or whatever. It just does it. You do get sliders that you can install, and you can up and down the screen, and that should give you some adjustability if you a taller rider or so forth. A lot of people were saying that the suspension is soft. For me and my rider weight, I feel that the suspension is quite firm. So maybe it's, you know, it's the default settings. They did say to sort of give the bike a bit of time for everything to loosen up a little bit. But the suspension's got massive amounts of travel, and yeah, it feels to me firm. It's firmer than my Tiger 660. So take that on me comparing to people using it for like serious off-roading. I think that's probably where it comes into play, where it might be too soft. I don't know. I think for me, for what I'm going to use it for, mostly road and then some gravel tracks, green laning and so forth, I think the suspension will be fine. But I will fine tune it when I get to there. I just want to get the riding period done and so forth. Front brakes is another thing that people was complaining about. It's too soft. For me, I had a BMW K1300S, beautiful machine, but man, those brakes were very grabby. And a few of my other bikes as well. You know, the brakes were grabby, and that's perfectly fine. You get used to that. But these brakes, I wouldn't say it's spongy, but it starts braking when you pull the lever. I've adjusted the lever as well, so that I can. The lever sits on just on the front of my finger here, and I've got enough reach on my finger to actually pull it, and then the bike stops, and I don't really have any issues with that. So I find that there's enough pull and enough what do you call stopping power on the bike as it is out of the factory. The rear brake, again, it's not grabby or anything, and I think, you know, if you think about doing off-road riding, you don't want anything that's grabby. As soon as you grab it, the front wheel or the back wheel locks up. You know, if you switch the ABS off, and then you're going to be sliding and so forth. So it gives you a lot of control. But again, there's so much adjustability on the bike that yeah. So far, everything is bedding in. So I'm just this is again initial impressions. You know, I'm not a full rally rider, and I'm not a I just ride a bike to work and back, and then I also use it for weekends to go and explore the backcountry roads. The look and the styling of the bike, I like it. It makes me feel like I'm on the Dakar, but I'm not. So it's one of those things that it is a good-looking machine. I haven't used it at night, so I'll see how it looks like at night with the lights and so forth. So we'll get to that. This thing also comes with a link to an app, to the Ride app. So I'm testing out the Ride app, and again, I'll do some further feedback in a different video. Okay, so the foot pegs has got these rubber inserts. Now, most of the guys take that out. I'm going to leave that in. My foot hasn't slipped off, or I don't feel like there's less grip so far, so I'm going to keep that on there. What else? You know, I went for the optional heated grips. Heated grips is fairly cheap compared to like the likes of the BMWs or even the Triumphs to install. First initial feedback on the full power, it works quite well. On the medium power, it's not that great. So compared to the Tiger stuff and the BMWs, where you get a really nice heated grip, the whole grip, this feels to me like it's very much like patchy. But it puts heat in my hands, and that's what I really want. One other thing is when you compare this to my Tiger and the Tiger 660 and the GT Pro, and also like a big GS, where you almost sit on top of the bike, where this one you feel like you're sitting in the bike. It's quite a nice feeling. It's also the bike is much higher than my Tiger, but I can swing my leg over this bike much easier than the Tiger. Maybe it's leaning more, don't know. Quite interesting. Maybe the seat is lower, I don't know. But yeah, I can swing my leg over this bike much easier than my 660. The 660 was way lower. This is one of the things that I'm still getting used to. And when I do get to traffic lights or whatever, I need to really shift my bum to the one side to get my foot flat down. Something I have to get used to. I knew the bike is going to be higher. I can balls of my feet on both sides when I'm sitting on the bike, but it is definitely much higher. Again, initial impressions, the guys were saying that the bike is top heavy. For me, the bike feels way slimmer and you know, as light as my Tiger 660. Just taking the bike out of the garage, and it feels lighter and slimmer. Quite interesting. So yeah, for the weight distribution, it feels different compared to the normal bikes, where you sit and the bike is sort of underneath you, where the tank is quite high and you sit in the bike with the tank in front of you. So it's just different. And the other thing that I did find as well, moving back up to the throttle, because it's not ride by wire or electronic, it's cable. You know, you feel you're working more on the throttle to hold it in that position. This would sort of probably be nice to have cruise control, where my Tiger didn't really needed that because the throttle was so light. Again, the clutch is also much stiffer compared to the Tiger. So just small little things that I've noticed instantly. But again, it's not bad. It's small little things that is different. It's a motorbike, man. All manufacturers is different, and moving from one manufacturer to another one, it is totally different. But love the sound of the bike, like the ride of the bike. For me, just the 80 miles that I've done, it's comfortable. It doesn't give me any pains in my back and my legs and so forth. And I'm really keen to get the 600 mile service out of the way. It's getting better weather and so forth. So I would really like to take the bike out and go and explore some back roads and also do some gravel riding. It'd be quite interesting. I haven't done that in ages. Did some in back in South Africa, and I did quite a bit of that on my little Sir Ron Light B, because it's more of a smaller bike. But I really want to try it. So that's just my initial thoughts, guys. If you guys want to follow along, please subscribe to the channel. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any comments about your Tenere 700, please drop in the comments below. I'm going to make a little video about the app as well, so you can see that, or and then also further getting used to the bike, and I'll keep on giving you guys some updates as I get on. But again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you want me to cover anything specific, please drop it in the comments below. But yeah, guys, just the initial video. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's go and ride.